This is Meghan Falcone.
Josh Brenner.
And Seth Brenner.
Podcast.
I think that's a recycle. I think you've already done podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
I don't think so.
I think it was
I
an
think
early
I already
season
said
one.
podcast.
Yeah.
All right, let's take it again.
Okay. This is Meghan Falcone.
Podcast.
How's it going?
It's going great.
What's new?
What's old? What's new?
You.
Yeah.
Wow, brutal. He walked right into
I
that
know,
one. He
come
walked
on.
right in.
Good job. Nothing. Same old, same old. Plugging along. Living the dream.
Do we have an update from the bagel?
Sort of.
Okay.
Ask me if I have a different update.
Okay. Do you have a different update?
Tim and I just played 18.
That's what we were waiting. How'd you shoot?
I played really well.
As well as Tim?
No, Tim's a ball.
Tim's legit.
Tim's a ball striker.
Tim's a scratch.
He's
Scratchman.
not a scratch, but he's probably he's probably about a 5 handicap. His index is pretty low too.
I think it's probably his height. He's got great leverage.
At 5'10", he can just destroy it.
Did he say any cute Minnesotan things when he would hit the ball?
I did get a couple of don't you knows in there.
Don't you know?
No, you didn't.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, he does not say.
Absolutely. Unequivocally, yes.
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
I loved him.
Good guy.
Does he know about the podcast?
Of course he knows about the podcast.
So, any update from the bagel?
No.
You guys
Wait,
didn't?
no?
I thought you were following up with
we
her.
were kind of following up. We kind of texted.
See, I could tell this because you didn't. You were cagey about it the whole time, and I'm sure it's because it was a coffee meets bagel, which was once again an incredible gift given to you by your brother and sister-in-law.
Sure.
So you just prejudiced against it.
Do you have any hope of connecting with the bagel, or it's
No,
just donezo?
I mean, it's overcooked.
What does the fizzle sound like on the messages? Like, I know there's more time put in between, but are you also just texting, like, for example, just 2 ha's?
Yeah, the ha's get cut down, or maybe you
interesting.
do the bubble thing on top, the double tap thing where you
If
click
you could bring that to ones that you were more interested in, cut back on the ha-has, play it a little more cool, I think you'd be more successful with the one. Isn't this just life? You're less interested, and you do the things that make them more interested.
Correct.
You're more interested, and it makes them less interested.
But now you're proving my point, going back to how many times we discussed this, of Meghan's, you gotta touch the girl. I can't wait to see you.
You do need to touch the girl.
You know, this is interesting. Maybe. I'm being texted today about a setup for you.
A setup or a setup?
What's the distinction?
I feel like setup comes from the podcast specifically.
No, so this would be a setup. I'm feeling the pressure of, I'm being texted about the setup.
You're welcome to my universe. You're getting 1/1000th of this. Welcome to my world.
Anyways, gonna need you to have a phone call with this person.
No, when your job is done, then I will not need to. If you step up and do your job, I will not need
No,
to.
I'm not gonna do my
He
job.
Bill Belichicked you.
10 points to Meg for referencing Coach.
Any Seth up would be welcome in my book, because what are we going to do?
I'll tell you what. Why don't
You're
you?
44.
Yeah, this is interesting. Do you think how picky you still are is absurd?
We've talked about this multiple times. It's not about being picky. It's about I have a very great life, and I'm really willing to make some changes. But it's gonna be as close to ideal situation in a partner as I can find. Dating someone for the sake of dating someone, I'm not doing that.
My thinking was that there was an inverse relationship. The quality of partner should have to go down as your age is going up. But you're saying it's the opposite. The quality of partner has to actually go
It's not
up,
the quality
up,
of partner.
up,
These are so many of these women I've gone out with are incredibly high quality and great human beings who I'd love to maintain some level of friendship with. It's a matter of the perfect fit for me. The perfect fit for me is not going to necessarily be the greatest. She's not going to be a 10 out of 10 for on all, checking all the dot.
That's interesting you said 10 out of 10, because it's time for
Relationship
Corner!
I'm not sure why 10 out of 10 is a segue
Well,
to
you'll
relationship.
see.
Oh,
You'll
okay,
see.
great. Oh, great. It's
You'll
a
see.
little bit of a teaser.
This Relationship Corner is from Michael in Dallas. And I will get to the relationship.
Hi, Michael in Dallas.
Yeah, hey, thanks for writing, Michael in Dallas.
I'll get to the relationship corner part after I share. This letter starts with a suggestion a bit of a knuckle rap for Seth, and then gets to the relationship. So we'll get that out of the way.
Ooh, is knuckle rap your phrase or their phrase?
Mine.
I like that.
I'm not familiar with this term.
Yeah, like we're like you're in
I
a
grew up Catholic.
school and you're getting
Knuckle
hit with
rap.
the ruler.
I got it.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Michael says, I want to know if Seth has updated his height. Have you updated your height?
Yes.
You have?
No.
So Michael says, I know my girlfriend and others have said they totally check out of the date once they find out their date has lied about age, height, etc. on their profile after meeting them.
Oh.
If one can't be honest about the basic information they present, what else have they been lying from, and how can you trust them moving forward? It's a major red flag that will sink any hopes of a relationship.
Wow. Thank you, Michael. Okay, well, what do you think about Michael's assessment? As soon as somebody meets you in person and it's abundantly clear that you are not the height that you've suggested that you are, they might take that, they might, extrapolate from that what else
You're
aren't
a
you
liar.
honest about? Are you really someone I want to dedicate time to?
Totally fair.
Okay.
Now, again, I'm going to be close to 5'10" in boots here, which I'm justifying.
Boots, he says it. When he says it, it's really remarkable.
It is.
Thanks.
Well, he believes it so fully.
It's not a lie.
If you
If
believe
you
it,
believe it.
that's right.
George Louis Costanza.
Well, something to think about.
Sure.
Michael's thoughts.
I don't disagree. But what? What was
you don't.
happening?
You don't want to be in a relationship with anyone who doesn't think you're 5'10".
Well, yes, that's the problem. No, the issue is for me, it's about getting them in a room. It's about having that one-on-one time, and if it's going to be first with a phone call or a FaceTime, and you can just see if personalities interact, if you're vibing.
But what about her?
First and foremost, everybody tweaks a little bit on these things. Everybody tweaks a
Not
little bit.
Michael from Dallas.
Well, Michael from Dallas is a better human being than me.
Okay, well, Michael from Dallas is our relationship corner of the week.
I missed it.
You want to do it again?
Are you not rehearsing? What's happening here?
No, I just didn't know. I thought we did it at the beginning and at the end, so I didn't know that it was going to come right here in the middle. Relationship corner! Okay.
Okay, Michael says, my girlfriend and I met on Coffee Meets Bagel.
Holy shit.
As did another good friend of mine with her boyfriend.
Wow.
Coffee Meets Bagel is similar to other dating apps, but you have a limited number of people to look at each day, so most people will take a look closer at people's profile, and those on it are usually more serious since you don't have unlimited swipes. So this is a relationship that ended happily. There's not a lot of gossip there because it's just a good relationship that started with Coffee Meets Bagel.
Michael is sort of just reinforcing literally everything we say day in and day
Are
out.
you Michael?
I did. No.
You could be. You could play Michael in a movie.
No, I'm not tall enough.
We don't know how tall he is.
in Hollywood that doesn't matter. Tom Cruise is tiny. He plays 6'6" in all these things.
Because what they do
Is that what you think?
Tom Cruise is short. He is short.
No, that he plays 6'2" in movies.
He does. He carries himself 6'2". He identifies as 6'2".
I want to share that we recently had a dinner with a Brenner family young cousin. And the young cousin looked into Seth's soul and said, "You give Major 5'4" energy."
That did happen.
It did happen.
That did happen.
Did it hurt?
Well, yeah.
It hurt.
Well,
I would think it would.
5'4" energy. What does that even mean?
Oh, I think we all know what it means. So you didn't see the bagel again. Did you go on any dates this week?
I did, as it turns out.
Oh, okay. Do you want to tell us about... Oh, wait. This has been...
Relationship Corner!
So we got to do our outro. All right, Seth, tell us about a date.
This is a good one.
All right, I feel like it's been a little slow. We didn't get a lot happening at the... except for Tim, which I guess is a result.
Well, apparently I missed cuffing season, so...
It's already over?
I think it's...
Well, you have to carry through, I think.
Oh, it has to start... Oh, I see.
Start early winter.
Late fall,
and,
early winter.
Yeah, and
so
then...
you're really into the... You must have been cuffed by now. Megan's got something.
Well, I was just going to say, if you don't know what cuffing season is, make sure you check out our Instagram, Seth in the City Podcast, our TikTok, Seth in the City Podcast, or our YouTube, Seth in the City Podcast, or our email, sethinthecitypodcast@gmail.com.
Relationship Corner!
Yeah!
No, it's already done. He can't do it now.
But it was great. he has a great singing voice, ladies.
Stop it.
Oh, you were
Stop
remembering
it.
that people could send us relationship corner stories at any of those places.
That's exactly
or even
That's
right.
record
right.
It
themselves
felt like
doing
it felt like the right time to do
with
a
their
promo.
audio, and
Yeah.
then we could use it on the podcast.
That's exactly right.
Thanks, Seth, for your help. I apologize. Minus 10 for Josh.
Wow.
Wow.
Pretty tough audience there. That's a plus sign.
sign.
That's
Oops.
funny.
Okay.
Matched with a girl on Bumble.
Go on.
I know.
Is she human or is she bot?
You would have thought for sure she was a bot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
How many bikini shots she's got?
None,
Oh,
which is surprising
yeah.
because she's
Because you match with her.
and she's a
Got him.
the bagel who I showed you had 2 bikini shots. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you matched with her.
Former model.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
What are you laughing at?
So how old is she? 27?
No,
She's retired now?
She's 32, 33.
Yeah, okay.
Former models can be any age.
That's true.
No, they're almost all like 20. Oh, I see what you're saying.
They don't kill them anymore after they retire.
Half Thai, half Dutch.
I love Thai food, and
Not Dutch food. It's really
It's bad.
It's not
It's
good.
pretty
They
bad.
they dip their fries in mayonnaise.
I know. Were you with us when we went to the tiny windmill farm?
I don't think so. No.
We went to a tiny windmill farm outside of Amsterdam,
Yeah.
and we got little packets of French fries that they just sort of like smothered in mayonnaise.
Yeah, that's what I just said. That's
I
what
know.
That's what the Dutch do.
Well, I didn't know if you were having that memory. I was
No,
sharing
this
my.
is like a known thing.
I have no memory of any of this.
Hmm.
I remember the French fries.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good. Well, Thai food's great.
Thai food's great, and the Dutch are tall.
Is she tall?
Polyglot?
Oh, she's a model. She's got to be tall.
Multiple languages for
Multiple.
sure.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Has been living in between New York and just outside of Paris for the last like 5 years.
Okay.
Doesn't speak much French though,
Huh.
Oh,
which was surprising.
head scratcher.
Yeah, it was surprising. I was kind of intrigued by that, but can't have it all, I guess.
And now she's in LA?
Just moved to LA
Oh, great.
6 months ago or so.
Okay, great. What
Okay.
brought her to LA?
She sounds like she's starting off fresh.
Ah, we've left a
From a
divorce
lover,
or something.
or-
I think there was a breakup.
A Frenchman.
Ooh.
Okay, you'd think she'd speak more French though, but
Maybe that was the problem in the relationship.
maybe I didn't.
Communication.
But
Communication.
I
One
don't
of
know.
the
If,
keys.
I don't know if he was French or not. I didn't ask.
What do you do on these dates?
That's a great question.
It's weird to talk about people's exes that early on.
That's a great answer.
But I'm very interested in people's exes.
Great.
You never want to hear about mine.
There were none.
Well, it was like that story I was telling you recently about
No!
in high school when I closed mouth kissed that girl
No
who's
one
been in the
wants
news lately.
No one wants to hear that.
Can we discuss that actually?
I'd be happy to tell the whole story.
Later. We're talking about the Thai model.
What did
How
I-
tall is she?
She's tall. She's like 5'8", 5'9".
Okay, that's not a problem for you at 5'10".
Exactly.
In boots.
Uh,
Do you ever request that they not wear boots?
No, no, definitely not.
Just so you go like, just so you know, like on the date,
I'll
I'll
be
probably
on the
be
boots.
wearing boots. I don't want it to get weird if we're all wearing boots.
I have actually had this conversation with women that are like 5'10". They will ask, and I will be like, I will be wearing boots, and we'll be 5'10" in boots, and they will say, all right, I'll wear flats.
Really, you've had a pre-ask about height?
100% yes.
Wait,
One-
what?
100% yes.
Michael in Dallas is rolling over right now. He can't believe
He is
100% yes.
ROTFL. What? Wait, I don't.
FC. He's crying.
Yeah, he's ROTFC. Wait, what prompts such a discussion?
I mean, you're chit-chatting, you're talking, it comes up.
Seth, I'm gonna tell you something. If you start off text conversations by going like, by the way, I'm like definitely 5'10", I think they might think something's up.
I don't open with that. It's more like my second or third line. But thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, I think
Thanks for
I've
the
got some
heads
helpful
up.
advice for you.
How's the chit chat?
It's good. Her English is good. It's not great.
Okay.
It's
Textually.
textually. Talking, it was much better.
You guys had a phone call.
I am no longer going in cold ever
I think
again.
that's great. I think that's really good, Seth.
Thank you. I will punt the FaceTime, but I'm not having a phone conversation. And I did this a couple of weeks ago. Really cool professor at UCLA, teaches biochemistry.
Whoa.
Her texting was good, same thing, but her conversation English was bad.
Okay, you can't do that.
And it was very difficult to maintain a conversation with her. On top of that, I'm very sarcastic. Obviously, I'm very
You're so
quick-witted.
funny.
I know.
They can't understand how funny you are.
So subtle, like
Very
really
subtle.
plays it very
Cool.
low
I'm
key.
always cool.
Yeah.
And then the Seinfeld reference is just
Yeah,
Oh,
they
that's
don't
gotta
have
be
them.
really tough for
That's
you.
hard.
right. It was really funny. We talked, and we were gonna maybe try to get together for a coffee later in that day. And I was like, hey, I'm so sorry to do this, but I actually can't meet up today. Like 20 minutes later, she texted me like, hey, my afternoon just opened up. Do you want to try to get? So she had multiple
You
things.
said you couldn't, and then she thought she was going to someone else, but was going.
She was going to the well.
Oh no!
And yeah.
My... What a disaster this whole situation is.
Yeah.
You poor people.
Yeah. But
All
yeah.
right, so you've had the phone call.
Had the phone call. Conversation's fine.
Okay.
Her English is good. It's not amazing, but
Would you say her English is better as a model than
Yes.
the professor's English
Yes,
was
correct.
as a professor?
unquestionably,
Uh-huh.
unquestionably, from a model standpoint,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes.
So you guys are messaging and it's tolerable and she's beautiful.
It's tolerable. It's good messaging.
Okay.
Okay.
But yes, and yes, she's a very attractive woman.
Where in LA does she live?
She Woodland Hills.
Woodland
Hills.
It would
Oh,
be a
that's a
long
bit of a
distance
schlep.
relationship.
And this is when things get a little dicey. Now, I don't
Okay.
love this. It's a real problem in LA.
Not an
Yeah.
issue in Austin.
No, not at all.
Like the geography is not.
It's just so funny listening to people complain about traffic in Austin, and now having been here like on a way more consistent basis,
Yeah.
it doesn't compare. So, Woodland Hills, we're chit chatting, and she asked straight up, my work schedule's a little wonky this week.
Wait, what does she do? Did you tell us?
I don't know exactly yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, she's only been here a few months.
Okay.
Do you mind coming out to my neighborhood? And next time, wink, wink, I'll come to you.
Great. I love
Wink,
it.
wink.
Great.
Wink, wink. And how is
How
she?
does she
How
wink?
is she writing those winks?
Emoji, wink, wink.
Oh,
Like
so
a
she's
little-
fluent in an emoji,
Yeah,
whereas
it's-
you are emoji is a second language.
Not.
And it even works. It's still ESL. So 10 points to Josh.
Wow. Okay. Just
You're
pretty
really
liberal with the points.
Hey.
And that's
Relationship
-10
corner.
for Seth and Megan.
Because we are synchronized? Oh boy.
Talk about a knuckle.
Wrap.
There it is. Knuckle wrap. So sure, I agree. I'm happy to go to Woodland what?
Hills.
Hills.
Woodland Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I don't know anything in Woodland Hills except for like the BJ's Brewery. So
I do. Oh man, BJ's.
I worked at BJ's in college.
Oh my God, the Pizookie.
So good.
Forget about it.
Oh my God.
Forget about
But
it.
I worked at the one in Westwood, which is hip, and the one in Woodland Hills, I feel like.
Well, we didn't go to BJ's.
Where'd you go?
We met at a coffee shop around her neighborhood.
Do you know what it's called?
I'd have to look it up, but it was not anything fancy.
What was your travel time?
I think 30, 40 minutes.
Oh, that's
That's
a perfect amount of
tough.
time to listen to one episode of Seth and the City podcast.
And tell your
Very-
friends and family if you love it.
Very valid point.
Who gets there first?
I got there first.
Okay.
It was a cute little coffee shop. You know,
She picked it?
She picked it. It's near her house.
Yeah.
So she walked there.
Cute.
Adorable.
That's almost too geared towards her geographically.
Yeah, it's
like
very
she's giving you
skewed.
nothing that you're walking there. But okay, wink, wink.
But she is
Wink,
a
wink.
model.
Oh, right, she's a model.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's fine.
So
Retired
But
model.
circling back.
Well, then it's not perfect.
But I know. I think retired model is much better than an active model
I
for
think
sure.
so too.
But circling
Can you
back.
imagine if she was just always walking around?
Oh, interesting that you said that.
What?
Wait, what?
So she had to walk to the coffee shop.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
She
because
shows that
she-
she's into fitness.
She doesn't have a car, is what Seth's saying. She can't drive.
She doesn't have a car.
Oh,
In
okay.
Woodland Hills. No car in Woodland Hills.
That's
Okay.
tough. But you could be her knight in shining vehicle.
Karmer.
What was she wearing? Sparkometer when you first see her.
Like a sundress.
Pretty.
Yeah.
She
With florals or plain?
help me out here.
Does
It's
it have
those-
like a flower print on it or it's
I
not?
have no idea.
No idea if there's flowers on it?
I
have
can't tell
no
if
idea.
florals are going to be in this season.
Now, is it still
Trying to
summer
gauge
in
based
Woodland
on your
Hills?
dates.
It was. I mean, it was warm. It was a beautiful day.
Oh, no.
But yeah, no car.
She has no car or she cannot drive.
Both.
But
Okay.
no,
Okay,
because
tough.
she was living in Paris.
Paris, New York.
New York.
Yeah, you don't need to drive any of these places.
I think
Paris, New York, Woodland Hills is a strange trifecta.
again, she's starting off fresh.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your sparkometer when you see her?
I mean, first blush, it's high.
Model.
This is a very, very attractive woman.
Give us a number.
I mean,
4.58, for example.
higher than 4.58.
Whoa.
4.7, probably 4.7.
Holy cow, that might be,
Holy
that's
moly.
about as high as it gets around here.
Yes.
4.7. Very promising.
Very promising.
In a way, seeing her walk there and learning she can't drive makes you like her, would make me like her more, because I'm like, oh, that was a really selfish thing to have me drive so far. But then when you learn there's a really practical reason, it's sort of, I get it.
Sure.
What do you think taking public transportation is like from Woodland Hills to Santa Monica?
As a model, challenging.
As a joke, we looked it up, and it was like 2.15.
Okay, wait, so like,
Things
this
are
sounds like this thing is
progressing.
interesting.
Okay, so she comes in and you get a tea and she gets a what?
She got a latte. She's very sweet. Comes from a very like amazing background. Like dozens of cousins on both sides. She's obviously traveled the world.
How did cousins come up?
I just had a huge family. Her Thai family was massive. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like her mom was like one of 11. Her dad was like one of 8. So
Where are
there's
her
a-
parents now?
I don't think they're in America.
Oh, that's so sad because
Oh well, yeah. Okay.
you need you
Yeah.
want the mom to cook you some food.
Someone Thai is like Meghan's culinary golden retriever.
So it's going well. We got there at a weird time, and they were closing early. They was closing
Ah.
early, so they kind of forced us out. And
Okay.
then we kind of walked around the neighborhood a little bit.
Were you in your boots?
Of course.
Do you get calluses when you walk?
No, those boots were made for walking.
It was really fun. It was really nice.
How long did you walk for?
Like 20 minutes, not too long.
Okay.
We were there for maybe it's a whole 2 hours for everything.
Okay.
That's pretty substantial for a coffee date.
Pretty
Yeah.
substantial. I mean, we did
Because if you weren't interested, you're out of there in
Hour.
70 minutes. Yeah.
70. I don't know where that number came from, but sure.
Well, because in an hour it's like a little brusque, but in hour 10 you're like, all right, it's getting.
Okay. Sure. So
That's how generals work anay.
this is how I found out.
We've never had a general last 70 minutes. At 40 minutes, they're like, let's get out of here.
Wow. But
It's true.
wrap up the date. She's like, I'm gonna get an Uber home. I was like, don't be silly. I'm happy to drop you off.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I drop her off.
That could be perceived as aggression, even though it's very friendly.
To your
Daytime?
point, daytime.
Yeah, see?
To your point,
Thank you.
I won't tolerate
It's
it.
right.
Again.
This is right. Daytime.
I'll give you this for the ride home. Broad daylight, untinted windows. Feel safe.
Oh, that's so specific.
Asking a human being up to your place has a very specific intention.
So did she ask you up?
She lives with multiple other women at
Oh.
this time.
Oh.
Multiple other roommates, 2 cousins, this, that, and the other.
Cousins.
There's a lot going on.
Okay.
I don't think she has $1 to her name right now.
Okay.
Well, that's
okay.
why she's dating a doctor.
And I'm wondering if that's exactly what was going on here. She's not working. She couldn't give me a straight answer about what she's doing right now.
Okay.
Things just started getting pretty sketchy at that point.
Just what? Just idling outside of the house?
It's like a 10-minute drive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm asking her questions about, how long she's been in the neighborhood, and she's kind of like going back and forth. Oh, I've been here for about a month, and I was over here at this guy's place. I was staying with my friend this before this, and it just started
She's
getting.
couch surfing?
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know what's going on. We tried talking about her work. She's a little bit cagey about it. She's like, well, I'll do some freelance stuff, and I'll help out on shoots from now and then. And
Shoots.
From now and then.
she's being super, super weird about the details. Now, I did Google her, and she was she had professional shoots. She's not doing
Yeah.
anything sketchy, like she's not doing porn or
I was
anything.
gonna say Woodland Hills, not far from the
Van Nuys,
Chatsworths,
capital of the
Van
world.
Nuys of the world.
Oh, Polly. Yeah, I wonder if she knows Polly.
Polly.
I went to fashion school with
Polly?
with a retired model. And she maybe very similarly had just left a marriage and was sort of trying to figure out her life. And she was so interesting because she started modeling, when she was, I don't know, 14 years old. you're traveling the world. You're not really getting much of an education in school because you're off and you're working all the time and you make all this money and you have sort of so many things given to you. Like trips were given, clothes was like all the things you need as a young person. And then when we met in fashion school, she was like, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of my life.
She has a lot of adult concepts that we take for granted were completely lost on this woman.
Yeah.
Like completely lost. But it just started getting pretty weird. And then she started asking me, how much do doctors make?
Whoa!
It was
Yikesy.
It was pretty interesting.
Yikesy.
It was pretty interesting. I gave her the generic, it kind of depends on how much you work and all these things, but I think she wanted a number.
It's so interesting because okay, here's a sort of a cynical and positive viewpoint, which is that I think all relationships are to some extent about
finances.
Bartering, right? Everyone brings something to the table. Everybody gets something from that table, right? Like whatever it is, right? Now, in this relationship, I understand what she's bringing to the table, and I understand what you're bringing to the table. And is there any world in which that would sort of feel good for you, or it's just feel you? Would you ever be like, wow, I'm with this incredibly beautiful, cultured, world-traveling woman model, and I'm rich, and
I'm not rich,
and I make a lot of money, and I'm a doctor is where we'll land. And that's what she's getting. Would that ever feel comfortable for you?
Only
does that mean
only
does that make
we
sense?
have an only
okay.
If this was a perfect ideal situation, yes. I'm not going to be a sugar daddy if that's what you're asking.
But what would make it a perfect ideal situation?
I mean, if it was like a 4.9 on the Sparkometer.
Okay.
No,
but with this, Meg makes an interesting point because, I mean, obviously not true for us, a couple of hopeless romantics deeply in love.
Yeah.
But there is an amount of transactionality of every relationship.
I mean, every marriage predating the, I don't know, whatever century was
literal transaction.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think what you're responding to is the fact that this is a little early to be talking numbers. I think you get into like date 5, 6, 7. It's very natural to start talking
correct
dollars and cents.
Those things do. It does come up. It really does. And in modern dating, there's so many jokes about people that are dating in like New York and they've been dating for like 3 or 4 months and they decide to move in together just to save money.
Yeah, of course.
Just literally just to someone's in a rent controlled building and I mean that's you can't beat that. That's the ultimate green flag. So date ends, hug, no big deal. It's, again, broad daylight.
Honk honk.
And what are you thinking? Are you thinking like I'm gonna see this woman again, or
I'm sort of at an impasse with this one.
Okay.
This becomes a very one-sided relationship if I do pursue.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to pick her up, bringing her to Santa Monica.
If she's
crashing in Santa Monica, driving her home, or paying for the Uber.
As a fan of her, anti-food, I want to say in her defense, not that long ago, you had 2 roommates in a place that you didn't live in. It's me and Josh. And you borrowed our car or didn't have a car here or tried to rent a car when you came. And like you also had a bit of a nomadic situation.
Fair. Totally fair point.
Yeah, Seth, if you live in a glass house that somebody else owns.
But now you don't. So maybe in 6 months she'll have her own situation here.
Sure.
Okay. Uh-oh.
He's got a smile. What is this smile about?
We text a little bit the next couple of days.
Okay.
And then she goes, "Hey."
Uh-oh. What's your Venmo?
A couple of my that's what I thought this was coming.
Oh.
A couple of my cousins are coming in town. Can I stay with you for a week or 2?
No. What?
What did you say?
What?
I was like, no, but I know 2 great people.
Yeah. What?
Wow.
She was looking for housing? How did you respond? Can we get the language? Don't have the language.
There's no language.
Oh, you just
didn't
nothing.
respond.
You did nothing.
Is she still waiting to find out where she's gonna stay?
Well, it's been a couple weeks now, so I think she's okay.
Oh no.
Oh heavens! Wait, so wait, how much texting up until that point, and like how abrupt was your sudden like I'm out?
So I did not respond. Blocked. That was it.
No,
Done.
right. I'm saying from her perspective, are you like in a ongoing conversation
This
and
was
then you
like-
get that text and
I don't remember if we texted the next day, but I texted her I think the day after. Hey, so fun. Let's connect again soon.
Okay, so
something.
you're in.
interested.
And then yes, I've got a couple things going on the next couple days, but let's maybe connect. And then she texted me the next day, say, hey, what are you doing? Just checking in.
chit-chat.
And then it was very, very, very basic, nothing exciting. And then
No sexy pics.
no sexy pics. I had all I needed online.
Gross.
And then
She
they
just
were
sends you her
tasteful.
portfolio.
They were tasteful.
I'm not saying the pictures were gross. I'm saying you're gross.
Thanks. And that was that.
Okay, now once again, obviously you made the right choice, and I
Wow.
support you fully.
Thank you.
Is any part of you like, sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Yes.
ask the same question, and I
100
already knew the answer.
100. But I mean, that becomes a squatter. There's no way she's
Yeah.
leaving.
Yeah,
And then so
A beautiful squatter.
having a buddy of mine at where I lived in Austin literally had to throw a squatter out in a very similar situation. Woman he met.
No!
Woman he met. What's happening?
Why is this cracking you up?
Because if only I'd known and had these dating apps when I was poor and looking for housing, I could have saved thousands.
Too bad.
Ugh.
But a buddy of mine literally had to have this woman who we met like a week or two before. She showed up with like 2 giant rollers.
No, wait. After they'd been hooking up for a while?
No. They
just-
met like a month before, and she's like, "Hey,
Wow.
can I come crash?" And she showed up with 2 giant rollers. I don't know the exact
Whoa.
setup, but like I distinctly remember being in the lobby of the W and this woman losing her mind, screaming at APD because all she wanted was her hair dryer, and this guy was like, "That woman is not coming up to my apartment."
Whoa.
It was wild.
That's
it was
insane.
not, and I could
Oh, so
I just had images of this happening to me
Yeah.
in
so
my
you were-
in my sublet in Santa Monica when they're like, "Is this your place?" I'm like,
No.
"It's really not my place."
Oh, no.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, wow.
Because I thought you asked an interesting question, Meg. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I don't know if I feel better or worse about it that there had been no like sexy, flirty kind
Yeah,
of in
it's-
between talk. Because if there is, then it's kind of gross. Because it's like, oh, she's like laying the groundwork to be
Yeah.
like, I'll come make your dreams come true in exchange for room and board.
But
But
who said anything about board?
good point. Good point. But the fact that there wasn't any
Yeah.
is like she's not willing to like be inappropriate about it.
Yeah.
But she is also in a desperate situation, which makes me feel terrible for her.
I
I feel so bad for her.
we don't know how to feel about her, but I can say that it makes me feel really good about you. That you were the safe haven
Oh,
choice
thanks.
for this woman who's like, I am floating and have no home base and nowhere to go. And she didn't send the sexy pics. She just was like, this is a good guy, and I know that I could
Take
safely...
advantage of him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel really. She's clearly in a tough spot.
She is. Now, we don't know this person. She could have been doing this for months and years for all we know. We don't know how accurate her story is now. We don't know.
Right.
We don't know if she has only been in the United States for 6 months or if she's been back and forth for God knows how long. We just don't know.
Because you didn't ask the questions.
Well, let's get her on the podcast. Again, I know she's looking for housing. You guys have
We can have her permanently on the podcast.
She lives in the craft room now. How are you feeling?
it's disappointing. This is someone I could have seen going out with again and hanging out with again and dating. That's obviously gone.
Did you ever think about saying, no, I don't think that'd be appropriate, but I'd love to see you again?
No, I was not gonna entertain this any further.
Now, I would like to say, Megan's always telling you to touch women and kiss them. I feel like this was a really good thing that you hadn't yet touched or kissed this
Thank you
woman.
very much.
Because I think in a situation like that, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but if there's already been a physical encounter, particularly if she's seen your place, you've slept together, like that is a much dicier territory to be in between.
Yeah, no, she's not tracking me down.
I don't mean that. I just
you mean
like.
Seth doesn't feel obligated in any
Yeah,
way.
it's
No,
not
no,
like
no,
you
no.
haven't
No,
put
no,
yourself
no,
in a
no.
compromised
No,
position
no,
in any
no.
way. I just feel bad for her. I just think capitalism isn't great.
Well,
And
that's going to be the end
and
of that.